Warp Factor 2. Hit it.
It's the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast.
Hello and welcome to another Solar One podcast. Our country is in chaos. We don't know who the next Prime Minister will be, and it won't be definitely Captain Kirk. So over in the far corner of this mighty universe,
yes,
from the dark depth recesses of Portsmouth, I present to you our future Prime Minister of the Sci-Fi Party.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Michael Ball.
Hello,
All
sir.
hail the leader. Hang on.
Yes.
All hail the leader.
Have you got the clapping hands sound effect as well?
Oh.
I've thrown him now. It's all right. I could have added it at my end. By the time we've done it. Didn't hear it. I'll tell you what, I've added it. I didn't hear it.
You had to spoil the moment
The
again.
Prime Minister, though, the potential
Yes.
leader, does sound very Vulcan in his name. It's like Surak or something.
Oh, he
What's
does,
his name?
doesn't he? Yes, I read that. What you put, yeah.
And he sounds like he could be. We could have it could be Predator suit, not Predator. What's it? What's the word for the leader? Begins with the P in Romulans. Because we have one. Praetor, yeah, but that's Romulans, not Vulcan.
What a cool title that is, isn't it? The Praetor. It is a cool title. Praetor.
I think that was.
Praetor Michael Ball.
You're going to pray to me. Praetor. No.
All hail.
So how are you? How's your part of the world? All right.
I'm good. I performed last week.
Do you know what? Oh no, sorry. I thought we weren't recording. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought we weren't recording. We are recording. How did the live action go? How did the live stand up go?
I was shitting myself. I did it. I did quite well, and Buddy was laughing and quite.
Was they laughing with you or laughing at you though?
No, they were laughing, but typical. I call you Praetor, and I get this.
Just a query.
All right. Well, they were all laughing, and it was wonderful, and I was tearful, and I gave a speech, and well,
is it something we're going to share, or is it something which you do not want to?
I'm not
introduced to
YouTube. No, I got a new sense of confidence out of it.
Okay, so is it something we're going to feature
a
in
new
the show?
Sense of self-belief.
Okay, what we'll do at the end of the show, we'll either do a new outro I've done, featuring Doctor Who outro, or we'll actually feature. Actually, you got something on your yeah, you got something on your face there. You look like you got mustard or something. What's that you've been eating? That's it. That's better. Right. I was going to mention it. But that's fine. So
I went around to the shop with that on my face. Good God.
Did you? But now it's someone. Don't forget, people on audio, they wouldn't be able to see it. I only saw it, but you saw it. You spotted it quite quickly on, so it's okay.
Yes. So I went round. It went down very well because I don't really drink a lot. We all went to the pub, and I had several pints of lager and really livened up. Then I had 2 cocktails. I didn't get home. I hadn't had cocktails in there. I got home at 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh my God! So you obviously had quite a weekend to recover.
I died all day Friday. I didn't recover till Sunday.
So I take you didn't go to work on Friday.
I don't.
Like that. No. Okay.
No. I was free of all that, so that's why it was quite responsible.
So what you're saying is it was worth it. It was a good experience.
Yeah, no, I don't really drink now. It's drinking to me. It's one of them things I do a couple of times a year. I don't. But when I do it, I like to drink for the right occasion,
Yeah, like Christmas or.
But tomorrow, it's my birthday this weekend.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yes, I'm 35, and
you're looking good.
Yeah, I'm 55 on Monday.
Wow.
But I am going out tomorrow to celebrate.
Okay, so
I'm going to a weird beer festival music event.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. So is it somewhere near to where you are?
It's Ealing.
Ealing. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. In a park.
Okay. Is it a large group of you going? Is it quite a few of you going?
I'm going with friends, yeah. And it's this event. It's all in tents outside. It's a beer festival.
So it's going to be a bit of a piss up then.
Unfortunately, I probably will come back absolutely hammered. and then I will suffer hangover for 2 days till Sunday, and then I won't drink again. But I'm out next Friday drinking because
I can't keep up with all these events that you're doing.
I'm meeting Keir Starmer next week.
Who's that?
What do you mean who's that?
Keir Starmer, who's that?
No, Keir Starmer.
Keir Starmer.
Head of the leader of the Labour Party.
Oh! How come we meeting him?
Because I've been nominated for a Creative Artistic Award.
Oh, wow. So are you going to tell him about the podcast?
Yes. Oh, fuck.
Are you going to give him
I'm trying to tell you about these defining moments. And
sorry, I know, but you can
I'm meeting the
No,
head
I
of
know,
the
I
Labour
don't, I
Party.
know.
And we're going to talk about the future of the country. I will advise him on what we need to do.
And what are you going to advise him that they need to do?
Oh, I don't know. I want a pay rise for a start, and I want everybody to hug each other every day of the week, and I want everybody to stand
like
on the
COVID,
street
they'll
and
say that it's
go,
not
I
healthy.
love you, and I want everybody to be nice to each other. Do you know what I mean? But that won't happen.
I think you might be in for a bit of a disappointment, I'm afraid, Martin.
Yes.
Sorry to say. But it's still a good thing to do. Sorry, for some reason I didn't recognise the name. I think it distorted on Zoom.
I will get some video footage of him, and we could put it on here.
And we could next week if you want.
Yes, I'll get him.
Yeah,
I'll try and get him to say, I endorse the Sci-Fi Party.
I subscribe to Coclud, who would have next week reached 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
next week.
I endorse Coclud as our next Praetor.
Praetor Coclud.
Praetor Coclud of the Sci-Fi Party.
For some reason, Praetor Nama was on V with Woody going on about
I
Praetor Nama.
can see
I know these things.
I can see a T-shirt materialise in here. You know, Praetor Coclud a T-shirt. You know, there could be a T-shirt in the mix there.
Well, yeah, we could do. I don't know. You know me on my Photoshop sort of.
Well, I can't be Praetor gods.
What are you then, Sub-Commander?
I do what do they call it? Romulan. Is it you remember Phoenicius?
Centurion is the lowest, isn't it?
Centurion, yeah. Centurion god.
Centurion Fowler. That sounds quite good.
I mean, that is so Centurion Fowler. Centurion Fowler, get the fucking coffee on now, and you've been demoted in 3 ranks.
Yeah, but what's lower than Centurion? I thought Centurion was like an ensign for Star Trek.
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
You have Commander, Sub-Commander, Centurion. Obviously, you have the
there's
Praetor.
Sub-Commander, isn't there? And then there's Commander and Captain. And
They don't have captains. They don't.
No,
they have Commander and Sub-Commander. Centurion.
And
that's
there
the
must
only
be
3 ranks I
something
know.
lower than Centurion. There must be something lower than Centurion.
Shit.
And at the top you've got Praetor Coclud.
Praetor Coclud.
Praetor Coclud.
That sounds like you're going Praetor Coclud. All right. So shall we, like I said, now we've got a few bits of news, but obviously the main focus is going to be Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So shall we go early into our focus of the week? I think we might as well, because it's a big one this week.
I've not seen Orville. I haven't had time.
That's fine. We can talk about that in the news, but I mean, if you've not seen it,
now I'm going to watch it. I should have reviewed it. I've been so busy this week.
Don't worry.
I've not had time.
It's a good episode, but we will.
I know. My friend told me it's about Gordon. But
it's a Gordon episode.
I was going to watch I was going to watch this and then this week's episode together and review them both.
Well, and also this is really non-relevant, but I'm finally catching up with the end of season 9 of The Walking Dead, and 9 of the characters ended up on spikes, dead at the end of the episode. I thought, oh my god, I've never known a series where so many characters get killed off.
What,
Jesus
9
Christ.
main characters?
Yeah, 9 long-term recurring characters.
Well, that's late. I mean, can you imagine?
Of course,
being
because the heads they don't die they're all on there and they're sort of going. It's such a good series.
God.
It's one of the best series I've ever seen. Right. I think it's like it's just so solid. Anyway, let's go to the focus of the week. Here we go.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the week.
All right, so this is a big one. So we've been really into this series for the last 10 weeks. It finished last week, and it really went full circle with an early episode of the original series called Balance of Terror. I was very surprised they went this direction, but I was pleasantly surprised. So although we're going to review the whole series, let's first of all really talk about the season finale. What did you think of it?
What am I going to do now?
I know, it's a big void, isn't it?
I'm absolutely gutted. I have
Quality of mercy.
an amazing time watching this, and it's gone. It's bloody well gone. What's left?
Well, Orville.
Yeah, but it's only 10 episodes of that.
And then we've got a gap, and then we've got the Star Wars Andor. That's what I'm looking forward to next. And that starts.
Yeah, I'm open to that. Yes.
And there's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming up. There's another one called Skeleton Crew now. There's a new live action one coming on as well.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
Yep. She-Hulk. I don't know about that.
Yeah, 6-foot green woman.
Skeleton Crew in Star Wars. Huh?
No, She-Hulk. She-Hulk. She's 7 foot tall, and she's a female Hulk.
Yes, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's obviously Marvel stuff. So that a TV show or is that a movie?
It's one of the it's coming October, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, and then there's not been much around. I've realised that December and Jan there won't be much at all because there won't be any
no Mando,
any Star Wars,
Christmas.
no Star Trek, no Doctor Who. Although no, they won't do Doctor Who until the one.
We've got Doctor Who in October. We'll finally get shut of that lot.
Yeah, finally got on that. So. They confirmed that the new Rose character is definitely trans. So that's we thought that was happening. That's going to happen as well. And of course, we're not going to go on about the wheelchair access, but let's go back. So obviously, you and I have seen. No, I added sound effects last week to that as well. It was really funny.
Yes, I know you did. You wanted me to mention that, didn't you? You did. You wanted.
These little bonuses, they do enhance the episodes. They make them funnier. And so Balance of Terror, I've seen it many years ago, obviously the original series. Quality of Mercy. Pike is back as an older Pike in the maroon uniforms from the movies, which is slightly altered. And it turns out that because he was there instead of Kirk, it led to a Romulan war. And I know what happened, what caused it, which is I didn't realise that. In the original episode, Kirk destroys the Romulan warbird before the commander's sub-commander gets the message back to Romulus and calls in the fleet. And I wasn't that aware of that the first time I watched that, but I read it afterwards, and that is what the event was that changed everything. So, I mean, I think it's really good that they went there, and I'm interested now because, of course, Pike would now know that Romulans are now related to Vulcans, and I suppose he can't tell anybody, but surely it's already enough that the timeline is different from the original anyway, even where we are now.
Well, but is the timeline different? Is it?
I don't know. I mean,
is it different because Kirk is now, as the saying Doctor Who, Kirk is that moment in time. You can't change it.
Yeah, there's.
And if you do change it, that's
fixed
what
point
will
moment.
happen.
Yeah, it's like a fixed point.
Because I watched Balance of Terror on the same day.
Oh, did you? That's a good idea.
Yeah, I watched both together. It was fascinating viewing, trust me.
So did it make it better?
There was a lot of things the same sayings. When when they're in the command meeting and Spock says if they are like my ancestors, which I think they are, they'll come back in force and they'll be brutal. And it's Spock in the original series says the same thing. Also, when the commander goes in another reality, we could have been friends.
Yeah, I saw that. I recognised all the wording, which was really nice to add in.
Fantastic episode. Very clever. I wasn't expecting that.
No, and also even number one, Una, she gets arrested at the end because she's got some but she's got some changes to herself and like that, sort of genetic engineering, which they're against. So, I mean, really, when this series came along, I mean, it really is. It's turned out to be much better than I think that we actually envisioned. You always said you had a good feeling about this before it started.
I did. Right. To be honest, I think after we are Trekkies, you and I.
Yeah, sure.
We've
absolutely
done we're lifelong connoisseurs of Star Trek, both of us. We grew up around it. It played a big factor,
and it's very important in our lives. Yeah, very important. Very.
And then we went dead for a while. We got the movies, and then there were nothing. No. And then
I remember those years, and then suddenly the next generation. And exactly.
It was just repeats, and even when they released it on DVD, it was just a different box cover.
Yeah.
And we had it all, and then the Blu-rayed it, and we got it all, and we watched it. But now, then we got Discovery, and we got hyped for that. That turned out to be practically shit, right? Except the second season was.
So, second season is going to be actually better now because it features the characters in the new one.
Yes, yeah.
Which will be it'll be different watching it this time around.
And then we got Picard. We got stoked up for that. That was disappointing. And then this, for some reason, Strange New Worlds. It seemed different. I don't know why. I knew when I saw that first trailer and rumours of it, because I'm a big fan of Anson Mount.
Yeah.
I knew he would nail this. But
we already knew that from Discovery. He nailed it in Discovery too.
Yeah, I think that was the moment. That's why the second season outshines the others.
Yeah, I agree about
He was superb. And because like, in Discovery, it's all about her, right? And you're bored of her, right? And then second season comes. And you think Saru's in charge. The minute Anson Mount walked through that door, sat in that chair on Discovery.
That was it. It was a whole different ball game. Yeah.
All different ball. And that was one person that did that. Not them, it was him. Okay. And I knew from that moment, because we said he's got to get a spin-off. We said that, and he did. And this series, all my friends that have seen it, you know what they've all said? Star Trek is back. Now, I'm going to get shot down because I've had some comments saying, that. But I don't care. To me, all right, it's 2022. They've had to upgrade it. Of course, it's a new Star Trek.
Yeah, you can understand it. Yeah,
it's not going to be the same what we saw in 90s. It's going to be different. You can't replicate what's gone.
But this is as good as probably you could get in respect to
if you want it at the moment, this is the... I agree.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I agree. Everybody's agreeing about it. I mean, the series has been such a success, and it's so good that they made it. And they finally got there. Third time lucky. I think Picard season 3 is going to be good, though. I've got a good feeling about that. For some reason,
I think that's going to come out all right for some reason.
I think so, too. I doubt it, but maybe they can learn a few lessons for season 5 of Discovery. I know maybe too little too late, but, it's possible that they could learn from what they've done because the same people make it. I'm still hoping that season 5 of that will have less of a big story arc. It will have what I'm hoping is Enterprise season 4, where they have like 2 or 3 parters and have about 4 or 5 separate stories in the whole season. And I think then that's got a chance of working. Seriously,
wouldn't it be interesting? It gets the Enterprise curse that the final season ends up being a complete masterpiece. And it gets cancelled.
Yeah. Well, there's no signs. I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, that's been on for a long time now. It's such a strange one, Discovery. It's
a love-hate relationship.
It's the strangest of the Star Trek live. I don't, like I said, I'm not into the animated. Although they're very
I'm not.
Lower Decks. I'm having to go at them. It's just not for me. I'm just not an animated fan, really. But for the live actions, I mean, Discovery is definitely the strangest by far. But I'm hoping that Strange New Worlds in many ways could help repair it a bit. Maybe what if we see the Klingons in Strange New Worlds and some of them look more like Discovery and some of them look more like the 90s Klingons or stuff like that? Try to explain the differences.
Do you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see the 60s Klingons.
I wouldn't mind. Well, we technically we saw the 60s Klingons in Enterprise.
Koloff
and Kor. But they'd obviously have to be recast.
Yeah, but Pike could be them. They are out there. So
yeah, they'll be out there. Definitely.
And I think we're going to see one of them. And I'd like to see humanoid Klingons. I think it's time to see them now. And you could have a mixed crew actually on a Klingon D7. Like you've got Worf type Klingons, and then
you've got the original.
And,
it mix them all together. I don't mind that. I don't mind.
They are an
That would work.
empire, and they conquer worlds, and they will cross.
Yeah, like different races, and
races.
obviously we have different races on Earth. So why
So
can
you
have
cross
different
breed, yeah.
races of Klingons? That
And then
works.
I think that will solve a lot of the problem.
And the Romulans in Picard, we saw both the original style, which was flatter heads, and the more the V-shaped four-headed Romulans, and that worked. Again, that was a mix of both. That actually worked.
What did you think to the Romulan look in Strange New Worlds?
Very close to the Next Generation era. I was surprised. To be honest with you, it might have been better if it had been a mix like in Discovery of some classic and some Next Gen. I personally, I liked it a lot. I didn't mind it at all. It was very, very close to the Next Gen look of the V, slightly bumpy forehead around the eyebrows. The sub-commander character in this, people were saying they would love to have seen the actor who played Sarek in Discovery as the Romulan sub-commander, the same as in the original series with what's the actor who played Spock's dad? I can't remember his name.
Mark Leonard.
Mark Leonard. If they did the same with Mark Leonard when he played the sub-commander and Sarek, if they'd have done that with the new actor from Discovery of Sarek and a sub-commander, that would have been a great little tie-in.
Yes.
But even so, I there were so many pros to this episode, and I really am so surprised at this. The only one, let's just go through some of the episodes. The only episode I was not mad on was the Elysian Kingdom. The episode where it was like almost like a castle and kind of like princesses and all sorts of things from the book on the Enterprise. That was my least favorite. Yeah, I just didn't click with that one very much.
Fair enough, I get that.
But I mean, I'm trying to.
My friend didn't get into that, you know. My friend, but he was sort of in and out. I was quite, because I thought he would have been into it, but he said he wasn't really into it.
No, I wasn't into that one. That was my least favorite of the lot. But apart from that, I mean, we had Strange New Worlds. Look at the episode names: The Strange New Worlds, Children of the Comet, Ghost of Illyria, Memento Mori, Spock Amok, Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach, the Syrian School, the Elysian Kingdom, All Those Who Wander, and The Quality of Mercy. A Quality of Mercy. Because I think there's an episode of the original series called The Quality of Mercy. So they changed it to A Quality
Probably
of
is,
Mercy.
yeah.
But very, very solid. I mean, I wish it could have been, say, 15 episodes for season 1 rather than 10.
I think we've been robbed.
Because Discovery had about 13 or 14 in there.
It would have. I think it would have been nice to have had, I'd say, 13 to 15 episodes.
Yeah, just 3 or 4 more, and I think that would have been the icing on the cake.
I think it would have been.
Left us waiting. It's just left us needing more.
I think they were scared that because at Backlash with Discovery, they were probably a bit, you know. Do you know? You remember Voyager when that came out? The first season of Voyager, originally the first season of Voyager was about 13, 14 episodes.
Actually, do you know, Voyager season 1 was weird because it was actually, I think it was 20, but what they did was they carried over the last 4 episodes into season 2. So although technically they produced 20, but you only got 16.
Yeah, because when you bought it on VHS and D, it were about 16 episodes, and then the second season were like 26 or whatever.
In my collection, I've actually still got a digital copy of it. I renamed them so that they're back in production order. So the episode with Amelia Earhart, that was apparently that was the first episode of season 2, right? But that was actually the last episode of season 1 originally. Yeah. And I like it in the actual production. So they, as you say, they assume they carried some over. As you say, because they had fear factor of how well Voyager would be received.
That's why I think Strange, but then they realised they've got a massive hit, so I could see second season being extended now.
It's possible. It's just that recently all the Discovery episodes have been getting like 1 episode shorter per season. But Discovery is not as popular. With the majority of the Star Trek community, from what I've seen, us included, have really, really embraced Strange New Worlds in every way, shape, or form, so they'll be aware of that.
I have to say that I thought the pilot episode is still my favourite episode out of all.
I love all of it.
I love the pilot episode. I just thought when I've watched it about 8 times. The pilot episode.
I need to watch that entire. I've only seen it twice.
I've not watched it all in.
I need to watch them all again. No, it's such a good series.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And killing off Hemmer in the penultimate episode. I mean, my God, And I like his character a lot.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, it was done on purpose because we talked about this before.
Yeah, because Scotty's coming in. Well,
we saw Scotty's arm at the bottom.
And we heard his voice.
And we heard his voice.
Scotty's coming.
I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to. No, he'll be there, but I think he'll be in like season 5 or something. I think we'll have another engineer before that.
The big question I'm going to put to you now before we cover the rest of it. Sure. What did you think to John Is it John Wesley, the actor who played the new
I saw your review on YouTube. I have to admit I was a bit underwhelmed by him. I don't know why, but the Chris Pine Kirk and obviously William Shatner. But I think there was reasons why. First of all, Pike is the captain of this series. And Kirk, he just didn't really stand out as he just came across more as like a generic Starfleet captain rather than Kirk. He didn't seem to have any particular Kirkisms as such. I need to get used to his portrayal of Captain Kirk before I make my final opinion of him. And I know he's going to be in season 2 as obviously a younger, probably like a lieutenant or something. So I'm on the fence with him. I thought he would be more Kirkisms. I thought he'd be more of that specific character, which Chris Pine also had to a degree. But I wasn't that impressed with him. It was all right, but
I watched Balance of Terror after a couple of hours later, and it was fascinating watching William Shatner's Kirk. And also that Kirk and Pike, and I have to say, I like William Shatner as Captain Kirk, obviously, but I am so warming to Anson Mount now. I have to say, he's just as good as William Shatner's Kirk.
But Anson Mount, you see, again, now you had Christopher. Hang on, Jeffrey Hunter. Jeffrey Hunter played obviously original Pike.
The original Pike.
Then we had the movie Pike, and I thought coming the actor, he was really good as Pike as well.
Yeah.
And Anson Mount Pike as well. He's probably the best version of Pike, I think. If I had to judge between all three.
That's his character.
But the guy that's playing the new Kirk, out of the 3 Kirks, to me, he's the least at the moment.
I didn't mind. I thought they got. Right, I know where you're coming from, and I think you're right on a lot of points, but don't forget Kirk, he never goes by the book. He's a bit of a rebel. He's arrogant as well. He can be quite, how do you say, this is the guy who got promoted years before he should have done, and he's not indecisive.
He might be different.
Impulsive.
He's not the captain of the Enterprise, he's the captain of the Farragut. He's not he might have a different perspective being a different captain of a different ship.
Probably.
He'd be a different person.
I compared him to Shatner's version when I watched Balance of Terror. I could see the younger version of the Kirk character in that new guy, but he is not Kirk. I could see Kirk being like
That's what I'm saying. That's
when he was a lieutenant, wanted to get up the ladder. I get that, but I wouldn't accept this guy to become full on the new Captain Kirk. I don't want a TOS.
He's an alternate
I don't want
Kirk. The new one is an alternate Kirk, an alternate ship, and you do act differently with different people you associate with, and so it could well be that his because obviously his route in Starfleet's taken a different turn. He could well be very different, being the captain of the Farragut, the captain of the Enterprise 1701. We don't know. So I'm at the moment, I want to see more of the new actor's portrayal before I can make a final decision. I would simply say that compared to Anson Mount as Pike, when we first saw him in the beginning of season 2 of Discovery, he blew it out of the water from literally the first scene. The new guy has not done that for me at this point.
No, could it sound Anson Mount?
That's what I'm saying about it, Anson Mount. But Anson Mount,
it's his show.
Anson Mount wasn't Discovery, it wasn't his show, but he took it over.
Yeah,
and he was sorely missed when he left at the end of season 2.
Yeah, and the new guy, even though he's playing this like dominating character,
if he's good
Anson Mount still.
But what I'm saying is, if they in the future, because what's possible is if this show really goes well, and at the moment I'm not sure about the new captain, but if he really works it out and he stands out as the new Captain Kirk, you could easily see a new spin-off, series.
Would you like to see a spin-off? would like to finish the 5-year mission. Would you like to see that?
Yeah, but I don't know, because we've got the actors. If like Uhura transferred over, obviously number one wouldn't be there. Well, we don't think so. So we would have to, and obviously Nurse Chapel could be there. We could already have 2 or 3 characters. You know how we had 2 or 3 actors?
Mabenga's there. Mabenga,
yeah, he could come over for McCoy. But then maybe he's demoted, and maybe he really has a bad working relationship with McCoy or something. I could see it happening. It could be set before where no one's gone before. It could be literally the first several months of where literally Captain Kirk
where they're leaving space
before they leave the Great Barrier. Sort of that, and they've got the slightly different uniforms.
That means the Gary. Is it Gary?
Maybe it could be a short one. Maybe it could be like Star Wars is doing like the not anthology, but like the Ahsoka's like a one of 8 episodes. That's it.
If that happens, Kirk's other best friend will be in it. The guy that became godlike.
Gary Mitchell, yeah.
Because he came up with him through Starfleet, didn't he?
Yeah. I could see that happening.
So I get that. It's not a bad idea. I quite like that. The early days of the 5-year mission.
What they could do is they could simply have another show set in this era, but obviously with the way that the ships look in Strange New Worlds, as like a contemporary, like a parallel, same time, like Discovery was the same time as the Next Generation, something like that. I could see that potentially happening.
So what do you think? What do you think to Ethan Peck?
Ethan Peck is fine. I think he's a great Spock. I think he's unique enough. He's got his own version of Spock that he's done for himself. I think he's fine. I like Ethan Peck.
I like how they've opened up Spock's personal life a lot in this.
To Pring and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, even though we did see Ston a bit Ston.
Yeah, I know. Well, he said he just looked miserable, didn't he, in one episode?
I'm going to say in the original series, when she dumped him, she was to get dumped like that, logically. You know what I mean? I mean, what a way to get dumped. And Spock's answer is, having, he says to Ston, wanting and having is not quite the same. But do you know what I mean? That logic of it. And it's interesting to see the
T'Pring is nicer in Strange New Worlds than she was in.
T'Pring's very nice. I'm not complaining. I think she's a babe.
I meant personality-wise, not physically-wise, but I suppose that's a factor as well.
I think Spock's gonna have a fling with Chapel. I think they're gonna have a fling.
They weren't supposed to.
Maybe they did in the past. There might have been a fling.
Well, there's always this weird relationship.
There's this attraction there. They're building on that. Have you noticed the pushing it in?
Thing is, you see, I mean, you get some people, and we'll have to. In a minute, we'll have to pause this and reset, and we'll come back with more discussion because we only got 5 minutes left on Zoom. Sorry about this, but Zoom's a real pain these days.
Do you want to do it now, and then it's
all right? Let's come back and we'll talk about it. So we'll be back in
2 minutes.
See you in a second. All right, sorry about that. We're back now. So, Martin, you were asking about whether Nurse Chapel and Spock can have a relationship in Strange New Worlds. I suppose, as you say, it's possible. But how do you think the fan community would be if that were to happen? Do you think that would be...
It's in the past. I mean, they might have had a bit of a flinger-dooey, and then they had to stop, and maybe that's the thing that makes T'Pring go. She becomes a threat, and she starts looking at T'Pring Ston. Because I find that T'Pring she's a bit selfish, isn't she? It's all about her, and
she's definitely her.
It is, and he's like, she's putting pressure on him. Nurse Chapel's got the feelings for him. She has, and I think there could be a fling. She's going to become a threat to T'Pring. There's going to be something like that.
Yeah, well, it could be interesting, but I still think a lot of the TOS purists. I mean, they're probably the hardest ones to persuade as to what they'll be doing with the new series.
I agree, but it's 2022, isn't it? We've moved on.
Well, the thing is, in the end, you've got to think about this. I mean, in the end, it's just a TV series, isn't it? It's kind of like...
some people it's not, though, is it? I mean,
I think
let me tell you a quick story. I was at a Doctor Who fan night down in London one night, right? And me and my mate, we hired a nightclub to throw a Star Trek party.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we got some DJs in, right? This is all years ago. So we got flyers printed up, and we went down to this Doctor Who night, and this Whovian, purest Whovian, kicked off at me and my mate outside the pub. It was like a day like this. And he turned around and said, I'm sick of you Trekkie, red-wearing shirt Nazis with your crap TV. Yeah, did, yeah. And my mate said, look, mate, you need to get laid, obviously. You look That's what my mate said.
Well, I think he's probably right.
Yeah, no, it's what he said.
Yeah.
He got really affected. But this guy was like, I'm not
Why was he so
him.
upset, though? Why was he so upset?
Purest Whovian at a level that was just...
It's not so it's a different series.
It was a sci-fi party we were having.
Right.
And it was to cover everything, but it was at the time of the new Star Trek movie come out.
Okay, like 2009.
It was that time, yeah. And he
Right.
really freaked out on us, and we just said, "Look, mate, you need to get
That's
laid."
strange. I mean, see, for me, I like both. I like both Doctor Who and Star Trek. They're both very different, but if I
still got the same amount of love for both shows, but at the end of the day, they are shows, aren't they? You know, it's not.
I mean, I would say that the hardest thing for me to swallow in the new CBS Star Trek things has been that they did redesign the Star Trek and the Starship Enterprise. It wasn't how it looked in the cage, and obviously they've updated the bridge and everything else, and that's, although I accept it, I still remember Star Trek Enterprise going back to the USS Defiant in the Mirror Universe and recreating it from the original series, different lighting, and it looks absolutely brilliant. And part of me still wishes that they could have made it still tie in with canon in respect to the visual look. I understand why they've done it.
Now, this is the double-edged sword, because
that's my biggest issue with the new Star Trek.
We can counteract this, because in Enterprise, when they had the starship, I forgot what it was called, the Founding, the Defiant.
Yeah,
they recreated the entire bridge of the original
and it
ship.
Looked brilliant. It looked fabulous.
And that were in early 2000s.
2005. Yeah.
And then you get to Star Trek Continues that replicated the.
So the next thing I was going to say, and look how good they made that.
And look how good. So really, if they wanted to, they could have. All right, have a few monitors.
They could have made it slightly more. Yeah.
They could have made it. Yeah. They could have done it.
Or subtle lighting and things.
Them 60s consoles and all that. Yeah. They have not dated. If you set it up right and light it up well,
you can still make it look good.
Yeah, and I do agree, because sometimes
that's an issue
when they've got the holographic screen like that in, you know,
Discovery. Yeah, I didn't like that,
and it don't fit. But then again, that was the 60s, and we're getting holograms now. And
are they? I was going to ask you, are they still doing this 25% different thing? Because even the Rotha Khan monster maroon uniform, which we saw Pike use, that was still slightly different.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
It had different shoulders.
It was like leather there going down.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, can't they just see that? I know it sounds dark, but this is my issue with the new Star Trek and the new Star Wars. Star Wars, you watch Boba Fett, you watch Obi-Wan, you watch them, and they are completely, utterly canon. No 25% difference. It is what it is supposed to be.
But in the
stop changing things.
in the Constitution class fleet, I think the uniforms differ to each ship.
They had a different icon logo. Now this is interesting because in the Balance of Terror episode on Outpost 4, we saw the guy and he had a different logo. We saw that guy in the new one, Equality of Mercy, and he also had the alternate logo. But Kirk on the Farragut, which apparently is supposed to be a Constitution class anyway, and it wasn't, that still had the Enterprise logo, not a different Starship logo.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make sense. So that's the inconsistency.
So when did all miniskirts and go-go boots come in then? When did that get? I mean, when did?
That's not going to happen, is it? Really?
No.
I mean, we've seen, obviously, we've gone to the same era, but with Pike on the Enterprise and Balance of Terror. And of course, they're wearing the same uniforms as they are in Strange New Worlds 7 years before. So you're not going to get those. Unfortunately, not going to get the boots or the skirt. I'm sorry to say.
No, I'm not. I mean, the one character I think has been underplayed quite a lot, and she's a fantastic actress, is Una, number one. I would have liked to have seen a lot about her this season. Because the original number one from the pilot movie with the other Pike, she's always been a bit of an anomaly. She's always been a bit of an anomaly here. And I know we know a bit more about her, but I would have liked to have seen. Obviously, we're going to get that in the second season about who she is. But I thought.
Well, I think what they're doing, rather than doing the original series where it was the three main Kirk, Spock, McCoy. They assume they're going with the next gen DS9 Voyager route of an ensemble thing. So it's kind of like, although Pike is still the captain, it's not just him, number one, and Spock as the main three and the others in the background. You're going to get more of an episode of like you have the Mbeka, Dr. Mbeka.
But I mean, we've had a lot of the cast.
But you're right. We've not had an Una focused episode, apart from the fact that she's got a different genetic engineering or something.
Yeah, she's an Elorian
or Takus. We haven't seen much of Takus. I like Takus as well.
No, but I thought because she's a she's a massive movie star. You know.
Is she? I've not seen her in anything.
She was in the original X-Men movie. She was Mystique.
I've not seen those.
Yeah, no, the ones that came out 20 years ago, painted blue. That's her. She was a big.
Okay. I didn't know her. I didn't recognise her.
Her name was. She was in all these big blockbusters. She was a big movie star. Rebecca
Romijn. Yeah,
Rebecca Romijn. She was married to this actor called John Starr. I don't know who he is, but he's famous. Her name was Rebecca Romijn Stamos or something. It's now Rebecca Romijn. She's just left him. But she was a big star. She was the supermodel as well.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She's old. She's a lot older now. She's still very nice.
I was going to say she looks like she's in her early 40s or late 30s.
I think she's about 50.
Yeah, well, she looks good for her age.
She does. Well, she's stunning. But I thought because Pike, number one, and Spock, they like the triad.
They're the exactly.
And we've had nothing really about her this season. I was surprised at that.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I mean, also it's the first season of a brand new Star Trek series, and they always have settling down issues. And it may be that it's just something that just got put on the back burner, and they'll do it next season. But they did finish it with her getting arrested. Yeah, she was the focus at the end of the season. So that tells me that they're aware of that, and they're going to make that the focus at the beginning of season 2.
We're probably going to get like.
Well, we must do, unless her character's written out, unless she goes. As far as I know.
No, I can't say that. I hope not.
Well, I don't know. We didn't think. We thought that with Hemmer. We thought Hemmer would be in it.
Yeah, I still got that picture of him.
Yeah, still reminds me of Rimmer coming out the Starbug in episode like. So, I mean, any other episodes that you particularly remember from season 1 of Strange New Worlds that you want to talk about?
Well, I thought it was one of the best pilots I've seen. I liked the one with the Gorn.
That was the one before, wasn't it? That was last week's episode.
Where they're on that.
All those who wander, the one where Hemmer dies at the end, you mean?
Yeah. No, the other one where they're on that planet and there's energy beings that are Lorians that are related to Una and they get saved. I thought that was a very good episode.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I can't remember the actual episode of that name of that one, but I know what you mean.
Another interesting thing about Pike, I've noticed there hasn't been a lot of phasers going off and photon torpedo. He's a very savvy guy. Obviously he's a warrior if it comes to it, but he'd rather diplome his way out of a situation, which I think he's very good at that. That's the last. Yeah,
he's a diplomat. Resort. He's more of a diplomat, more like Picard, more like Picard than Kirk.
I did think the other day. I mean, I think there were in the original series. I think it were like 90 red shirts that died.
Yes. It was huge.
There hasn't been that many in this that have popped off.
Well, they're probably trying not to replicate that. I mean, because most of the other series, you didn't get lots of red shirts. I mean, obviously in the 24th century, it would be gold shirts, but it was more of a staple of the original series that you've got a red shirt beaming down to Captain Kirk is going to die.
Yes,
and 90% of the time he did.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
so I mean, I'm looking at some of the actual descriptions. So obviously, Strange New Worlds, Captain Pike comes out of self-imposed exile to rescue an officer gone missing. That was one of your favourites of season 1. Then Children of the Comet, an ancient alien relic thwarts the Enterprise crew, rerouting a comet on track to strike an inhabited planet.
Yeah, fantastic episode.
That was an 8.1, and then goes to Lyria. Una must confront a secret she's been hiding when the contagion ravages the ship. That's a 7.9. These are also pretty high rankings as well. That's 7.9. Then Memento Mori, Pike must find unconventional Starfleet methods to deal with a malevolent force that attacks the Enterprise. That's an 8.5. I think that was a submarine kind of one, when they were sort of hiding in the nebula one. And then 8.2 for Spock Amok, which had a wonderful Amok time joke kind of like repetition.
Yeah, the train sequence,
which is really funny. First of visit, of course, is a comedy of errors during Spock and Pike's crucial negotiations with an alien species. And then Lift Us Where Suffering Cannot Reach. That was the one where the threat to an idyllic planet reunites Captain Pike with the lost love of his life to protect her and a scientific holy child from conspiracy. That's the shock ending with the kid that had to die for the planet.
I have to say that was one
great.
Of my favourites.
And then the lowest rated one, which is the one that I mentioned. Oh no, it's not. So the Serene School is 7.3. That was while the dangerous humanity mission, the Great Enterprise, stumbles across a harrowing game of leverage with the Quadrant's deadliest space pirate. That was all right. That was the one where she turns around. The lowest rated one was 6.1 with the Elysian Kingdom, which was my least favourite episode, which you liked.
I enjoyed that.
I didn't like that one.
Really?
And then
It was wacky. I liked him. I liked Anson Mount who were playing that Spineless character.
Yeah, the Spineless character bit was good, and the end with the daughter where she actually grows up and she goes off into. That was pretty good. It wasn't all bad, but
it reminded me. You know when you got like a Next Gen episode, and it were pretty like that. You got a lot of Next Gen episodes,
filler episodes where it felt like that.
It reminded me of that, and that's. I think that's why I.
And I think the reason why I'm more critical is because we've only got 10 episodes the whole season. That's why. Yeah. If we had 20 episodes or even 15, I wouldn't have minded so much.
I like Spock being a backstabber and snidey.
Ethan Peck was good. And then all those of Wonder, which was the one with the Gorn at the end, the sort of Predator, sort of alien kind of episode.
Did you
8.4?
Did you like the character of the Khan Noonien Singh's?
Yes, I did think she was good. Noonien Singh. I thought she was fine.
Was a bit at first. I was a bit sort of.
I still think we need to know a lot more about her, and she left at the end of the season. But the thing is, you see, the characters we don't know them long enough yet. We've seen them for 10 episodes.
But she grew on me very good.
Yeah.
She was good. And I like Ortegas.
I can't think of any characters. I don't particularly like.
I like Ortegas. I like
Ortegas is fun. Yeah, I like Ortegas.
He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all good.
And I think on Rotten Tomatoes it got like 98% or something.
Well, the last episode got 9.2. The one we just saw.
No, the whole series. The whole series.
I haven't seen a. What does it say on Internet Movie Database?
I think it was 90-something percent. It's been it outdid Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, well, they're very different series.
Yeah, I know, but it did because a lot of people very after Discovery and Picard, a lot of people were like, "Oh, here we go again." But they didn't. They went way beyond the mark for this season.
Well, I think that Star Trek would have been a lot better if it started off with this series than Discovery, season 1 with those terrible Klingons. But on Internet Movie Database, the whole series has got an 8.2, which is pretty good rating. I think, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I do wish they could make longer shows though.
What are we going to do?
Even 12, 13. Well, no, we've got the Orville. We've got. I mean, you haven't seen last week's one, and then we've got 3 more, and then by the time that's all done, we'll be heading towards August. And then we've got about another month before the new Star Wars series starts, Andor, which
yeah, but we don't get the Mando till February.
No, I know. It's a long.
Are we getting Boba Fett season 2, Chris?
Not heard anything about it. I think it's going to be that Boba Fett's going to appear in one of the other series.
I've got no sci-fi news at all. I've got nothing.
No, I've got nothing.
Not
the last thing I heard was the wheelchair TARDIS thing, which you're not going to go through about again. So, I think we should just cover this and leave it at that. Yeah. There's nothing else I want to focus on. So let's focus on the end of this.
Definitely,
we'll go back into silent running is what we want to do next week.
Definitely,
So I suppose really we should sort of give your final thoughts on the series and how it went for you.
10 out of 10. I have to say, I know that I agree with you on a lot of what you said, except the Elysium Kingdom. I thought was a good episode. I respect your view. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I do. As long as you're not getting them episodes all the time, I don't mind one a season.
And I was only tough on it because we only had 10 episodes. If it had been 15, I wouldn't have minded so much.
Right. Yes, because it would have just fitted in the
every episode is really got to make the best of the best because you haven't got that many episodes.
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
My issue. That's
I'm going to give it 10 out of 10, buddy.
I'm going to give it a 9.5. It loses 5 points, partly because the season was so short. If the season had been 5 episodes longer, at this standard, it probably would have been 10. But it was just a bit too short. I know that they can't, they've obviously got a different way of making things now, but even Discovery were banging out 13, 14, and 15 episodes per season.
So I will say, as Star Trek Strange New Worlds, has it got the Solo One Sci-Fi approval?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Right. It was the best thing that they've done on CBS. I'm really, really, really pleased that they've made it. I think it's just the beginning. I thought it had a wonderful season finale, and it's Star Trek. It's what I wanted 5 years ago when Discovery came along, and then we heard Achilles is going to take a dump in the toilet, and then fuck off. Holy shit start that was. Remember him? The first 10 minutes he was literally just looking at the subtitles. He looked like something out of Lord of the Rings or something. Achilles is going to take a shit on the Starfleet Starship Enterprise. Fuck off. It was crap. Terrible. But I mean, like I said, season 2 it got better, but get rid of those shitty Klingons.
Well, it wouldn't be great. You got him doing that, and he went up to Bridge on Pike. And he's doing that, and he just says, "Oh, will you just fuck off?"
Fuck off, yeah, piss off. Well, they would have said it in Discovery because they swore and just. Also, no swearing. Hardly any swearing on.
Yeah,
hardly any swearing.
No swearing.
No.
No, there aren't.
No, you didn't notice that, did you?
Yeah, no, I forgot. But no, there aren't. There's been no fucking swear.
You don't need it. You don't need it in Star Trek.
I remember in Picard, while watching it, and that Admiral said, "She said,
yeah, fucking hubris.
You think you are?" And in Discovery, it will.
I don't like that. I don't like. Star Trek should be for everybody, any age. Yeah.
And in this, there's been no swearing.
No.
I forgot about that.
I know. Yeah. I know. To be honest with you, I just noticed that.
Yeah.
No, it's just a better series. It's just more what I wanted from Star Trek.
Yeah.
The visuals are great, the acting's great, the stories are great. I'm happy. That's what I wanted, and I've got it. It's the first time since 2005 I can say that. I didn't mind the Kelvin Universe shows, but it
only took 17 years.
Imagine this came out like the season after Star Trek Enterprise, and we would have just gone straight into it and thought this is great. We had to wait so long.
That's an interesting question because Enterprise, it were I think the world were getting after 4 series and movies and.
Oh no, it was fatigue.
I think there were Trekkie fatigue, and maybe if they had done a Pikey series at that time, it might not have worked.
It might have been different. You're right. It might have been different if they could have somehow got the actors to go back in time and filmed it in 2006, where they are now.
Yeah.
It could well have been that it might have flopped. But it's a whole different dynamic. It's different dynamic when they.
I still want. You say the whole Rios thing in Pike, in Picard. You say when I saw him on the Stargazer and he was captain.
That's going to be a series. I thought that was going to be another series.
Finally we're going to get you see,
And that bridge looked brilliant. I love the Stargazer bridge.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought, are we going to get a Rio series here?
25th century,
after Dominion War.
I think we're going to. It's going to be 7 or 9. It's going to be 7 or 9. They're going to use that bridge for a new series. I know they're going to after Picard.
I want that. I want a series now. Look, I love
25th century.
You know, what do you call? We're getting a prequel series. All right.
I mean, obviously, Discovery is now a sequel, but I want Picard season. I want it during the big, like, still tied to the Next Gen. DS9 and Voyager era. Imagine some of the characters. From
I'd like to go back and visit.
Go see the Dominion. See what that's. Oh, well, I know what too. We should still be there.
I want to see what the Dominion's up to. I'd like to know what
the wormhole. What about the Gamma Quadrant? What,
and the Bajorans. Yeah, and the new threat that's going to come in. And I'd like to see a new starship with like a bit of a maverick captain in late 25th century and. There's things happening in the Gamma Quadrant, and they have to go there. And the Dominion could have been conquered by something else.
I'd like a brand new experimental starship that can actually go to the next galaxy.
Oh, the Andromeda, yeah.
Imagine a brand new one-off, and it's got this new kind of drive, and it's kind of like, and it has like only a limited amount of jumps where it can go back and forth, and then they can go and they can actually explore a non-humanoid galaxy and
you meet the Kelvin, the comings of the Kelvin,
or the makers of the Doomsday, or the makers of the Doomsday Machine, or Tin Man's race or something. You know,
I'd like to.
All those things, and they could do that, and I'd love that. That's why I'd love the brand new stuff.
Fucked it up with Borg, haven't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, but the Borg and Picard are a subsect, and they're not crossing over with the other Borg.
You know,
I still like Picard though. I think Picard, it was too much 21st century. If they'd made it 5 episodes or 1 episode in the 21st century or something, it might have worked much better.
It was. I mean, you know,
that's the problem.
And where we the Borg would like to join after we've annihilated billions of years. We'd like to join the Federation, and we're going to guard that big hole over there because we've learned love.
Do you know what though? I think that the season 2, partly because of the COVID restrictions, partly because they've spent all the money getting all the next generation actors to come back for season 3.
Yeah, that's why.
And I think that's what it is. That's what they saved all the money on. So I've got the feeling season 3 is going to blow. I think it's going to blow.
Because I'll tell you something, to put all that lot back together is not going to be cheap.
That's a lot of money, and they never said they're going to get back in those Starfleet uniforms. They're all going to be back.
Who are you excited more for? In that to see after all.
I would have seen Worf actually.
That's the one for me.
I want to see him in the Klingon makeup.
I want a Worf series because they were.
Well, he's been trying for decades to get. I know he's been trying for many years to get.
You know, Captain Worf. I mean, Worf. I love Worf.
Yeah.
I used to like him walking behind Picard. You know, when they were going on an away mission, he's walking behind him, and I thought to myself, nobody's gonna fuck with you, man, with that fucker there. I'll tell you that now. I love Worf.
Yeah.
You know, because he has to be nice
I think it's going to be good.
I remember him with Quark when he was drinking prune juice and he started laughing. He looks at him like, because he's got to restrain himself. He's thinking, if I were a full-on Klingon, I'd kill you.
You'd be dead. You'd be dead right now, yeah.
But he's got to like hold himself. I love Worf. One of my favourite characters in Star Trek.
Yeah, I agree. Well, like I said, I'm getting more confidence in the people that are writing these series now. And again, well done to everybody involved with this. I cannot wait for season 2, which will probably be out in early next year, I'd assume. I don't know how long. I don't know. What's next for live action? I suppose it'd be Picard next. Because Discovery, they've only just started.
Once all those gone is after Andor, I don't think there's anything till February.
No, I mean,
there is. Oh, Lord of the Rings series.
I
don't know that. That's.
I'll give it a watch. And the Avatar at Christmas, Avatar 2. I'm going to check that out.
Really, you're going to go see that then?
I might do. Probably. I quite like the original Avatar.
I'm not bothered about it.
Yeah. I don't know. The first was such a big thing when it came out. I don't know.
I mean, I went to see the first one in 3D.
No, I saw it in 3D. I felt sick because 3D is a fad.
I have to say, I didn't mind the film. It was an average film, but I will say
it's not brilliant. It's not fantastic.
The special effect, it was just a special effect extravaganza, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was all eye candy.
All this new technology.
It was, yeah, I agree about that.
Shop, and
I agree about that.
It was the best 3D I'd ever seen.
Yes, it was at the time, absolutely, which is why it was such a big thing. So, but I don't know. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a big film, and I like James Cameron. So whether he's, I don't know.
Well, that Thor: Love and Thunder come out. It come out last week. I've not even been to see it.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Are you going to go and see it? Or are you going to wait until it comes out?
I'm not bothered.
Really? I thought you're a big Marvel fan.
I don't know. I'm a bit weird on Marvel now.
Are you? You all want to sort of got me into it, really.
I was, but after.
What's made you sour it or go off it a bit?
I saw that
Eternals looked like it was awful.
I was absolutely bored shitless.
It just lost it a bit.
It won Iron Man, and it won. Do you know what I mean? When they first started the movies, like
they were really big in action.
Really, you got into growth of it all. And then Endgame came with big battle.
Sure.
After Endgame, it's.
I lost it a bit.
They've not peaked. There's no.
Maybe it's gone past its peak and it's sort of petering down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I saw Spider-Man. Well, I saw
that. I saw that. That was quite good.
I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I thought that was all right.
I did. I watched Doctor Strange online. I did quite enjoy Doctor Strange, but the Eternals, I did go see that.
That looked awful. I heard about that being very politically correct, and
I was bored shitless. Millions of dollars on.
Everybody hated that one. And
I just couldn't be bothered. And that Morbius the Vampire, he's another Marvel. That flopped. They've had 4 flops this year and 2 big hits.
Yeah.
And I don't think Thor: Love and Thunder's performing that well.
No. Well, we'll have to see.
I think Marvel's.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm going to have to wrap things up next. I just seen the time. I'm going to go back to work.
Yes.
So, Martin, thank you so much. I think what we'll do is we're going to wrap up just to sort of finish up as it is. But maybe this week, if you fancy, let me know. We can actually maybe next week feature a bit of your stand-up in the show with your permission. And I want to see about that. So next week we're going to be doing what's it called?
Silent Running.
Silent Running. So I never remember the name of that.
Fantastic.
Which is a really good film.
Fantastic actor, Bruce Dern.
One of those films that's really one actor taking on the whole film, and it's a good film. So until next week, we'll be back, and until then, live long and prosper, and thank you very much.
Live long and prosper.